Very good evening, my dear friends. If you are able to hear me, quickly give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Very good evening, dear friends. If you are able to hear me, quickly give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay. So it's really good to see all of you again. So yesterday we discussed 25 MCQs and today again we are going to discuss 25 more MCQs. So I believe yesterday's class it was fruitful for you guys and today we are going to build upon the basics that we discussed yesterday and we are going to discuss some other topics which are there in your SEBI syllabus. So quickly, let's come to the first question. Let's not waste any further time because time is very crucial at this moment. So let's quickly come to the very first question. Very good evening to all of you. Mehak, Nideem, Nilesh, Sonia, Nidish, Ravi, Anupama, Sonia, Tekken Games. It's really good to see you today again. And I'm expecting the same kind of Josh you had yesterday in these questions as well. So the first question says a shareholder to whom 9,000 shares of rupees 10 per share they were allotted, he failed to pay the first and final call of rupees 2 per share. It means he has not paid 9,000 into 2, that is rupees 18,000. Now this is to be recorded in the books of the company with which account is going to be debited or credited in this particular case. Keshav is saying B, Sanjana, Nidish, all of you are saying sir answer should be option number B. So now whenever the call is going to get due, the company is going to pass this entry. Company is going to pass this entry, share call account debit to share capital. Okay, so this would have been made due by the company 18,000, 18,000. And then when the other shareholders paid the amount, this particular individual he did not pay the amount. So in this case, now the company is going to transfer this rupees 18,000 to another account which is call in arrear. So now share call account which was opened in this first entry is to be closed and this 18,000 is to be transferred to another account which is call in arrear. It means abhi call bakaya hai, call has not been paid by the shareholder. So this is how accounting would be done to share call. So this is how the journal entry would be made. Call in arrear, this would be an asset for the company. The company has to receive the amount from the shareholder. So increase in asset, call in arrear is going to be debited. So that's why the answer to first question is definitely going to be option number A. ऑप्शन नंबर ए. मुझे लग रहा है आप सबने आंसर बी दिया था. अरे बाप रे बाप, सबने बी दिया था. तनुजा है केवल जिनका मुझे आंसर ए दिख रहा है. मुझे लगा आप सबके आंसर सही होंगे, मैंने तो ऑप्शंस देखे भी नहीं, बट नाउ आई हैव लुक्ड एट द ऑप्शंस एंड मुझे लग रहा है भाई आपने तो बहुत से गलत आंसर्स दे दिए. सो प्लीज गाइस, हमने यहाँ पे शेयर को फोरफीट तो किया ही नहीं. In this question is anywhere written कि the shares have been forfeited, but you have been pre-programmed for these questions कि just apply the share forfeiture. Just mark that answer. This is not true. This is not going to be true for each and every question. So please be careful, guys. Please be careful. And you are saying sir share forfeiture को डेबिट कर दो. डेबिट करने का सवाल तो उठता ही नहीं है. अगर फोरफीट भी कर लेते तब भी क्या आप उन्हें डेबिट करते? शेयर कैपिटल को डेबिट करते ना, शेयर फॉरफीचर को. I didn't expect these kinds of mistakes that would be made by you people. So it's really sad to see these kinds of mistakes. Yeah, this is a blunder that you have done, Nidish. Okay, so let's hope कि you will not make these kinds of blunders again in this discussion. ऐसा ब्लंडर दोबारा से मत करना. चलिए फटाफट से let's come to next question. A simple one, इसमें गलती मत करना. हाँ तनुजा, वो री इशू में होता है, या तनुजा ही है एक इंटेलिजेंट आज हमारे साथ जो जुड़ी हुई हैं. These kinds of questions are going to make the difference between rejection and selection in your examination. If you don't read the question carefully, then you are definitely not going to succeed. So this question says, I am getting the answer as option number B from Nadeem, Keshav and Vinayak. So the question is कि Golden Fireworks Limited जो है उसकी authorized capital हमें given है, and as per the decision of the board of directors, company issued 75,000 shares to the parent company. This is an example of. All of you are saying sir this is private placement. Public issue nahi hai because in public issue shares are given to the general public. In ESOP shares are given to the employees, and in private placement shares are privately placed to some group of individuals. Okay, so in this particular case the answer is going to be private placement. We are giving shares to pre-selected investors and institutions rather than giving the shares in the open market. Okay, it is an alternative to IPO. So yeah, the answer is option number B. चलिए, so let's quickly come to the next question. Question number 3. Again, you have to make some calculations. वॉइस हाई लो हो रहा है आपकी बीच में. Settings seem to be fine here. चलिए, तो in this question it says कि Ashok is a shareholder to whom 12,000 shares of rupees 100 they were allotted, but he failed to pay the allotment amount of rupees 30 per share and first and final call of rupees 30 per share. Ashok had paid only application money. Pro rata allotment proportion is 5:6. What will be the amount of call in arrear on allotment? चलिए, केशव डिस्ट्रिक्ट मत होइए, फटाफट से इस क्वेश्चन का आंसर दीजिए. तो कह रहे हैं कि अशोक जो हैं उनको 12,000 शेयर्स अलॉट हुए थे. ओके जी. अब बोला गया कि उन्होंने अलॉटमेंट पे 30 रुपीज नहीं दिए और फर्स्ट एंड फाइनल कॉल पे 30 रुपीज उन्होंने फिर नहीं दिए, तो टोटल 60 रुपीज उन्होंने अभी नहीं दिए हैं. अशोक हैड पेड ओनली एप्लीकेशन मनी, उन्होंने ओनली एप्लीकेशन मनी पे किया है. एप्लीकेशन मनी कितना होगा? 100 का शेयर है, तो हमारे पास हमने कंप्यूट किया कि 30 प्लस 30 अलॉटमेंट और कॉल का है, तो 40 हमारे पास होगा एप्लीकेशन का. हाँ, कोई बात नहीं, डोंट वरी, जस्ट फोकस ऑन दिस क्वेश्चन. आंसर्स आ रहे हैं ऑप्शन नंबर ए के, जो कि मुझे इतने सही नहीं लग रहे हैं. सो लेट मी रीड दिस क्वेश्चन केयरफुली. क्वेश्चन सेज प्रो राटा अलॉटमेंट प्रोपोर्शन इज 5:6. तो अब देखिए, जो अशोक हैं उनको 12,000 शेयर्स अलॉट हुए हैं, बट उन्होंने अप्लाई कितने के लिए किया होगा? फॉर हाउ मेनी शेयर्स वुड अशोक हैव अप्लाइड? सो यू वुड हैव टू कंप्यूट इट. तो the person who applied for 6 shares, he got 5 shares. So Mr. Ashok, he had been given 12,000 shares. For how much shares would he have applied? For how much shares would he have applied? Sir, by unitary method, let's try to compute it. कितने shares के लिए apply किया होगा? Let's try to compute it. 12,000 divided by 5 multiply by 6. So this would mean कि उन्होंने apply किया होगा, कितने के लिए अप्लाई किया होगा? 14,400 शेयर्स के लिए अप्लाई किया होगा. ही वुड हैव अप्लाइड फॉर 14,400 और 800. 14,400 है एलन. 14,400 राइट. सो 14,400 शेयर्स जो उन्होंने अप्लाई किया होगा, ही वुड हैव पेड हाउ मच ऑन दिस? He would have paid 14,400 into 40. He would have paid this much of the money, but he was allotted only 12,000 shares. He was allotted only 12,000 shares. So basically, on 2,400 shares, he has paid rupees 40 extra. He has paid this rupees 40 extra. How much this is going to be? 4 4s are 16. This is going to be 96,000. तो अब यहाँ पे 96,000 he has already paid extra at the time of making application. So whenever a shareholder is applying for more shares but he is given less, the extra amount which is paid by him at the time of application is adjusted at the time of allotment. Okay, so in this case you are giving the answer as rupees 3,60,000. How would you have computed it? You would have simply done कि sir 60 rupees is pending and he is holding 12,000 shares. He is holding 12,000 shares. So simply you multiplied and you computed 3,60,000 is in arrear. But you didn't adjust this 96,000. This 96,000 has already been paid by him. This was already paid extra by him at the time of application. So you would have to reduce it, and then the answer is going to be 2,64,000. 2,64,000. I will not look right now. Okay, I will only look left. Don't worry. केशव इज सेइंग बेसिक क्लियर करना पड़ेगा. अगर बेसिक क्लियर नहीं है, हाउ वुड यू बी एबल टू सॉल्व दिस वन? So do remember guys कि अगर आप ज्यादा शेयर्स के लिए अप्लाई कर रहे हो, if you are applying for 100 shares and you are only allotted 90, तो आप 100 शेयर्स पे एप्लीकेशन मनी पे करोगे, बट आपका बनता ड्यू कितने पे था? ओनली 90 पे. So the extra which has been paid by you is going to be adjusted at the time of allotment or any further call. So this is something that you have to remember. This is the basic fact that you have to remember with regard to issue of share capital. हाँ वो कह रहे 3 लाख. ओके 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 ओके. 60 into 12,000 is going to be, sorry, the question is asking what is the amount of call in arrear on allotment ना, allotment के time पे पूछ रहे हैं. So this is going to be 30 only. This is going to be 30 only. He's asking on the allotment, not the call, not the call. So that's why we would be doing 30 into 12,000. अगर यहाँ पे लिखा होता on allotment and call, then we would have definitely done 60 into 12,000. Okay, so that's why we are going to do 30 into 12,000. 30 into 12,000. Yeah, right. Silly mistake हो रही है, महक कह रहे हैं. So we don't have to do these silly mistakes ना. How can we succeed if we are doing these silly mistakes? So that's going to be a problem. So I hope this is clear now. I hope this is clear now. Allotment पे पूछा था, so this question had some tricks in it, and I hope now these are clear. Okay. So now let's come to a slightly easier question. Okay. I don't want कि आप बहुत ओवर कॉन्फिडेंट हो जाए and you feel कि you know each and everything. There are many small points which can confuse you in the examination, and this is what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to bring those points to your notice. I don't want you guys to be confused in the examination. I want you guys to be already prepared to face anything in the examination. I am getting the answer as A from Keshav and Nidhi. Anmitra is saying D. Sonia is saying A. Some A and D answers are being coming in. The correct answer is definitely going to be option number A, revenue. Revenue, if you are making some revenue, if you are making some income, increase in income is definitely credited. So revenues would normally have a credit balance. Cash is your asset, so debit balance. Account receivable is again going to have a debit balance, and dividend is basically an expense for you. Okay, so this is also going to be debited. All of these, they are going to have a debit balance, except revenue. Revenue is going to have a credit balance. चलिए. Right, Vinayak. Debit the expense, credit the income. Rule for nominal account. Gabriel is asking, would these questions come? Nobody knows which questions are going to be there in the examination, but we have to prepare for each variety of question. We have to prepare for each variety of the question. Okay. So let's see. Let me simplify this question for you guys. So 12,000 shares of rupees 100 each, they were forfeited due to non-payment of rupees 40 per share. So how much amount has not been paid? Rupees 40 per share has not been paid. First and final call of rupees 30 has not been made yet. The shares were reissued at 80 per share for rupees 70 per share. Okay, which of the following journal entry is correct for forfeiture of shares? So this reissue wala line is confusing, and this has no effect on this particular problem. Okay, so it simply means कि आपका जो शेयर है अभी ₹70 उसके ऊपर you have called up, ₹70 has been called up. Okay, क्योंकि 30 rupees का कॉल अभी मेक नहीं किया है, so this simply means ₹70 has been called up, and these shares, they have been forfeited. These shares have not been forfeited. These shares have been forfeited. So out of rupees 70, how much has been paid? So rupees 30 would be paid. This is the paid amount, and the amount which is not yet paid, it is going to be rupees 40, which is not yet paid. Okay, the amount which has been paid, you are going to transfer it to which account? You are going to transfer it to share forfeiture account. All of you are saying, sir, answer should be option number C. So let's see if the answer is option number C. So rupees 30 into 12,000. So share forfeiture के अंदर 3,60,000 is going to come, and the amount which is not paid, ये आपका call in arrear में चला गया होगा, and now this call in arrear is to be reversed at the time of forfeiture. So rupees 40 into 12,000. So this is going to be 4,80,000. So your share capital is going to be debited by how much? 70 into 12,000. So 8,40,000. Call in area by 4,80,000 and share forfeiture by 3,60,000. So now you can easily mark your answer. Now you can easily mark your answer. Yes, the correct answer is option number C. All of you guys have given the correct answer except one or two. So I believe now it's clear to you guys. Anmitra, Nilesh, Sonia, Vinayak, lot of C answers were there. So it's really great to see all of these C's in the chat box. सर क्वेश्चन का लेवल थोड़ा सा आपने बढ़ा दिया है आज, थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूज हो रहे हैं. I know. I want you to be confused before the examination rather than in the examination. यहाँ पे कंफ्यूज हो लो चलेगा, एग्जामिनेशन में नहीं होना. Next question, if the premium on forfeited shares has already been received, then securities premium reserve account should be. Securities premium reserve account should be. नितीश is saying सही है सर क्वेश्चंस. चलिए आपके आंसर्स भी सही आ जाएं तो और ही मजा आ जाए. Sonia, Anupama कह रहे हैं ऑप्शन सी. Nilesh is saying C. Rishabh is also saying sir answer should be C. Mehak, Kanshu, all of you are saying sir answer should be option number C. So this is something you have to remember कि if the securities premium has already been received by you, if 100 rupees share have been issued at 120, यानी कि this rupees 20 is the premium. Okay, this rupees 20 is the premium, but let's suppose only rupees 70 was paid on it and rupees 50 was not paid on it. 70, it means rupees 50 plus 20 of the premium was paid on it. So if the premium has already been received, you are not going to reverse it. You are not going to reverse this premium. If the premium has been received by you, you are going to keep this premium in your pocket and you are going to stay quiet. You are going to stay quiet. But if this premium was not received by you, you would have to reverse it. Okay. अगर हमें कोई ऐसा सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम, ऐसा कोई कैपिटल प्रॉफिट हो गया, वी आर गोइंग टू सिंपली पुट इट इन अवर पॉकेट एंड सिट असाइड. So this is what you have to remember कि you are not going to make any treatment. अगर आपने सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम रिसीव कर लिया तो अब वापस से no reversal is to be made. So this is what you have to remember. And yes guys, the answer is option number C. Answer is option number C. Ellen, it's not E, it's option number C. Sunil, it's not E, it's option number C. How come it be none of the above? We will not make any treatment. अगर आपको ऐसा कुछ अननेचुरल गेन होगा तो वापस थोड़ी करोगे, आप अपनी पॉकेट में डालोगे और साइड में हो जाओगे. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हाट वी हैव टू डू. चलो अगेन कमिंग टू अ सिंपल क्वेश्चन. बैलेंस शीट ऑफ द कंपनी इज रिक्वायर्ड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड इन द फॉर्मेट गिवन इन. So which format are you going to follow for preparing the balance sheet of the company? Which format are you going to follow? The format which is given in the Companies Act 2013. In which schedule this format is given? Sonia, Anupama, Nilesh. Okay, Sunil, don't, then okay. अरे विनायक, F तो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है. I am seeing lots of C's here, and the C is correct. Part 1, Schedule 3, Part 1 is your balance sheet, and Schedule 3, Part 2 is your statement of profit and loss. Okay, this is what you have to remember. कि Schedule 3 के अंदर you have the financial statements का format, and उसके अंदर भी Part 1 is balance sheet and Part 2 is your statement of profit and loss. Okay, with this let's come to the next one. As per the Companies Act, balance sheet of a company is required to be in. Okay Vinayak, then okay. Yeah, Schedule 3. Bilkul Tanuja. Tanuja is giving some really good answers. I'm getting the answer as option number B from Anupama, Sonia, Vinayak, Anuradha, Nikhil, Vinay, Keshav. सभी कह रहे हैं आंसर इज बी. नितीश कह रहे हैं कि हॉरिजॉन्टल है. महक भी कह रहे हैं हॉरिजॉन्टल है. ओके, हॉरिजॉन्टल फॉर्मेट कैसे होता है? हॉरिजॉन्टल इज दिस फॉर्मेट. ये फॉर्मेट मैं बनाता हूँ ना आपके सामने. आई यूजुअली मेक दिस फॉर्मेट टू मेक थिंग्स इजीली अंडरस्टैंडेबल. On one side assets, on the other sides we have capital and liabilities. So this is what? This is horizontal format. Horizontal, side by side. On this side assets, on this side liabilities and capital. This is horizontal format. Do Schedule 3 give this particular format? Does the Schedule 3 have this format? No, Schedule 3 does not support this format. This format is not supported by it. It gives a different format. It puts the format like this. Here we have our capital and liabilities. Okay, this is the balance sheet. First we have our capital and liabilities, all the items are going to be there, and then we have our assets. Okay, so this is the format that has been given by the schedule 3. So this is like top and bottom. This is like this kind of format. Okay, this is not horizontal, this is vertical format. This is your vertical format. So this kind of format is there, this kind of format is there in schedule 3. So equity and liabilities, and then your assets. Okay, so it's not a T format, it's not a T format like this, it's not horizontal format, it's a vertical format, up and down. Up we have equity and liabilities, and below we have our assets. So this is the format that is being followed. Okay, and in this as well, you have to remember all the things which are going to come here. You have to remember this thing. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. Okay, चलिए. हाँ, वर्टिकल, बिल्कुल वर्टिकल के आंसर अब आ रहे हैं, तो इट्स रियली गुड टू सी. इंड एस वाली बैलेंस शीट डिफरेंट है, अभी नहीं जाते ना उस पे. प्रपोर्शन ऑफ द शेयर होल्डर्स फंड्स टू टोटल एसेट्स इज कॉल्ड. ओके, बताइए जी. शेयर होल्डर फंड डिवाइडेड बाय योर एसेट्स, व्हाट इज दिस कॉल्ड? I think it should rather be net assets. And instead of net assets, we also use the term capital employed. This is the term which is used. So on the top, we have our shareholder fund, and on the bottom, we have this net assets, or we have our capital employed. Coming in as option number A, lots of answers coming in as option number A. ऋषभ अभी 9th पे ही है, 10th का आंसर मत दो भाई प्लीज. ऑप्शन नंबर ए के सभी आंसर दे रहे हैं सर, ये प्रोप्राइटरी रेशो है. एंड यस गाइस, दिस इज डेफिनेटली योर प्रोप्राइटरी रेशो. इसके अंदर आपके शेयर होल्डर फंड आते हैं, और नीचे आपका नेट एसेट्स और कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड आता है. सो दिस इज योर प्रोप्राइटरी रेशो. ओके, और इसके अलावा यहाँ पे कुछ और रेशोस भी दे रखी हैं. डेट इक्विटी रेशो तो बहुत इजी है, डेट बाय इक्विटी. करंट रेशो, करंट एसेट्स बाय करंट लायबिलिटीज. और जो आपकी कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशो है, कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशो का फॉर्मूला भी आप देख लीजिए. इसके अंदर हमारा ऊपर आता है कॉमन स्टॉक होल्डर्स इक्विटी, यानी कि योर इक्विटी इज गोइंग टू कम एट द टॉप इन द न्यूमरेटर, एंड इन द बॉटम वी आर गोइंग टू हैव फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट बियरिंग फंड्स. ऑन प्रेफरेंस वी हैव टू पे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट, एंड ऑन डिबेंचर्स वी हैव टू पे फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. सो दिस इज योर कैपिटल गियरिंग रेशो. यानी कि ऊपर आपके पास न्यूमरेटर में आएंगे वेरिएबल कॉस्ट वाले फंड, जिनके ऊपर आपका जो कॉस्ट है इट इज नॉट फिक्स्ड, एंड in the denominator we have to have those funds on which the cost is fixed. On preference we have to pay fixed dividend, and on debentures we have to pay fixed interest. Okay, so this is your capital gearing ratio. This is your capital gearing ratio. Okay, so I hope all of these ratios they are clear to you, and answer to this is definitely option number A. Definitely option number A. Chaliye. So let's come to the next question. Question number 10. Primary purpose of trial balance is to. ट्रायल बैलेंस का प्राइमरी पर्पस क्या है? सोनिया, रेशो के फॉर्मूलाज में ना थोड़ा सा इधर उधर चलता है, 19-20 चलता है. You would find कि different authors they are using different kinds of formulas each and everywhere. In examination also there may be a slight change in the formula which is given in your options. So 19-20 का फर्क यहाँ पे चलता है ना. दूध में थोड़ा सा पानी चलता है ना, वैसे रेशो में भी ये चलता है. कोई किस तरीके से लिखता है, कोई किस तरीके से लिखता है. Keshav, Nadeem, Nikhil, Rishabh, Mehak, all of you are saying, sir, answer is option number D. Gauri is saying, sir, answer should be E, not D. ट्रायल बैलेंस का प्राइमरी पर्पस क्या होता है? ट्रायल बैलेंस कब बनाया जाता है बताइए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग अवर जर्नल, all the transactions entered in a chronological manner, then we move on to ledger, all the accounts are opened, and then we move on to trial balance. So trial balance में हम ट्रायल करते हैं. What trial are we making? We are seeing कि all the debits are they equal to all the credits. डेबिट और क्रेडिट हमेशा आपके इक्वल होने चाहिए. तो ट्रायल बैलेंस में डालने का उद्देश्य होता है, ऑब्जेक्टिव है to check the arithmetical accuracy, to check whether all the debits they are coming equal to all the credits, and from here on we are going to prepare our balance sheet and PL. So yes, the answer is going to be option number D. Answer is going to be option number D. We have to prove the equality of debit and credit amounts. Yes, it is to check arithmetical accuracy. Okay, so now let's come to the next question. Tanuja, we have to check arithmetic accuracy. Yes. Agnik, Nidhi, Keshav. Current ratio is 2:1. If equal increase in current assets and current liabilities, this would result in C and A. Okay, let's assume our current assets are rupees 2 lakh and current liabilities are rupees 1 lakh. Okay, now let's increase our current assets by 1 lakh and let's also increase our current liabilities by 1 lakh. Okay, so initially the ratio was 2:1. Now the ratio is going to be 3 lakh divided by 2 lakh, yani ki 3:2. 1.5 is going to be the ratio. So from 2 the ratio has become 1.5. So this means the ratio has decreased. So correct answer is going to be option number C, guys. Option number C. Vivek, Abhishek, Ellen, you guys are right. Anuradha, you are right. But some people they are giving answer as option number B or A. So please, that is not correct. That is not correct. Okay, अगर आपके current assets, current liabilities को you would increase by equal amount, your current ratio is going to decline. So this is simple ratio analysis. This is simple maths. Okay, maths का logic है simply. Yes, it would decline. चलिए, now let's come to the next question. A firm has inventory turnover of 3 and cost of goods sold is rupees 2,70,000. With better inventory management, the inventory turnover increased to 5. This would result in I hope you guys are solving it. Rishabh is saying option B. Okay, option B के आंसर मेरे पास आ रहे हैं. So inventory turnover ratio formula is simple. Cost of goods sold divided by your average stock or inventory. So inventory turnover ratio 3, cost of goods sold is 2,70,000 divided by your average stock. So average stock would come out to 90,000. Okay. So now if inventory turnover ratio it increases to 5. अगर ये 5 हो जाएगी, let's suppose the ratio comes out to 5. So then your stock is going to be how much? Your stock is going to be 2,70,000 divided by 5. So solving it, it would be 54,000. So this would mean the inventory has decreased by rupees 36,000. So this was again simple ratio analysis ka formula that you had to apply. And all of you are saying option number B. All of you are saying option number B. All the answers that I have are option number B. So very good response. Very good response. It's really good to see all of these good answers coming in. Okay, so now let's come to question number 13. Let's see if this is lucky or unlucky for you. Yeah, Vivek, that would have been more clearer if that would have been mentioned. But if it is not mentioned, now you are prepared for this kind of question. चलिए आंसर्स आ रहे हैं. निधि, अनमित्रा, सोनिया सी कह रहे हैं, सुनील और अनुराधा ए कह रहे हैं, which is not true. So you have to find the incorrect one. If your debentures are being converted into preference shares, this would decrease your debt equity ratio. ये आंसर कैसे हो सकता है आपका? डेट इक्विटी रेशियो के अंदर आपका डेट और इक्विटी आता है, तो डिबेंचर्स को आप प्रेफरेंस में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हो, तो इट सिंपली मींस आपका जो डेट है वो आपका कम होने वाला है. डेट इज गोइंग टू डिक्लाइन. अगर आपका डेट डिक्लाइन हो जाएगा तो डेट इक्विटी रेशियो इज गोइंग टू डिक्लाइन. Okay, long term liabilities which are due for payment within a year should be treated as current liability. Yes, this is also true. High operating ratio indicates higher profits. This is clearly false. This is clearly not true, because operating ratio indicates your expenses. You remember this thing? Operating profit ratio, you remember this formula, is equal to 100 minus operating ratio. So अगर आपका operating ratio ज्यादा है, if this is figure is high, then ultimately your profit is going to be less. Your operating profit is going to be less. So how can this be correct? So option number C is not correct. Cost of sales is the better numerator than sales while calculating stock turnover. Yes, जब हम inventory turnover ratio निकालते हैं तो cost of sales divided by average stock करते हैं. So yes, this is better. So how can the answer be option number C? RN is saying जल्दी जल्दी मत कराओ, जल्दी जल्दी कराओ. I want all of you guys to learn, so that's why I have to maintain this pace. चलिए फटाफट से आर्यन के कहने पे फटाफट से लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. आर्यन, आई हैव टू मेक श्योर कि जो मिस्टेक कर रहे हैं दैट मिस्टेक शुड नॉट बी रिपीटेड. Which of the following is an operating income? Let's see if Aryan is able to give the right answer for this one. So Aryan Chaudhary, I am looking for right answer from you. It can be any profit, na? It can be any profit. But when you are talking about operating ratio, this would mean you are talking about EBIT, operating profit. Operating ratio अगर सवाल कह रहे, so it means it denotes it is asking about operating profit only. Okay, I'm getting the answer is option number A, which is perfectly right. Your interest, dividend, or profit on sale of car. This is not your operating income. Operating income from your normal operations. So when you are selling your merchandise, when you are selling the goods in which you normally trade, this is going to be your operating income. Okay, so let's come to the next question. चलिए फटाफट से let's come to the next one. Which of the following is incorrect? इनमें से कौन सा incorrect है, कौन सा गलत है? मुझे होता तो है कि फटाफट से करवा दो, बट देन आई फील कि नहीं यार, एक बार सब चीजों को डिस्कस तो कर लें. Others are non-operating. Okay, Sonia is giving answer is option D. Nadeem, Keshav are also saying D. So let's read all the options. Equity shares do not carry fixed rate of dividend and they are the ultimate risk bearer. This is true. Equity shareholders get dividend from the residue of the profits, and in case of the winding up, their money is going to be refunded at the last. So this is also correct. Cumulative preference share capital. So cumulative preference shares are those in which if dividend is not paid in 1 year because the profits they were less, then this is going to be accumulated and this is going to be paid with the dividend of next year. So this is what the question says. So this is also correct. Participative preference share capital holders, they are the ones which get this opportunity to participate in extra profits. So if the company is making some super duper profits, then in that case, after paying fixed dividend to preference shares and a good dividend to equity shares, if some surplus is left, then participating preference shares, they get to participate in that surplus. So that is why they are referred to as participating preference shares. They are not participating in day-to-day management. They are participating in the surplus profits. So that's why the answer is option number D. And all of you have answered it correctly. सभी के आंसर सही आए थे. With this, let's move to the next question. Assertion is issue of bonus shares will not affect debt equity ratio. Reason is issue of the bonus shares increase the amount of equity. Yes, Anupama. बिल्कुल ऐसा ही है जी. अगर आप बोनस शेयर्स इशू कर रहे हैं, इज दिस गोइंग टू अफेक्ट योर डेट इक्विटी रेशियो? डेट डिवाइडेड बाय इक्विटी. So when you are issuing bonus shares, you are simply converting your reserves into your shares. Both of these, they come under the category of equity. So you are converting your reserves into shares. So overall, Nadeem is saying D, Vinayak is saying A, Vinay is saying D, Keshav saying C. Arey baapre, lots of mixed answers are here. Lots of mixed answers are here. Okay, let's suppose my equity, it comprises of reserves of rupees 50,000 and share capital of rupees 50,000. Okay, so now I convert 25,000 of my reserves into share capital. Initially my equity was 1 lakh, and now what is going to be my equity? So 25,000 I am going to reduce from reserve, and this is going to be part of my share capital. So again, total equity is going to remain same. It is going to remain 1 lakh only. So bonus shares will not affect debt equity ratio. This is right. It is not affecting your ultimate level of equity. It is not affecting your ultimate level of equity, na? So that's why your debt equity ratio is not going to be affected. Reason is definitely wrong. Only assertion is right. So assertion is right and reason is false. So answer should be option number D. Answer should be option number D. I could see some right answers here, like from Rishabh, Nidish, Nadeem. So these are the people who give the right answers. Yes, this is simply reallocation of equity. Yeah. So come on, guys, be careful. We don't have to make all these mistakes. So let's quickly come to the next one. What will be the current ratio of a company whose net working capital is zero? You know the formula of current ratio? Current assets by current liabilities. Sonia, Rishabh, Sanjana, Keshav, Anuradha, Nidhi, all are saying sir, answer has to be option number C. Net working capital, it means current assets minus current liability. This is zero. It would mean current assets is equal to current liability. So अगर current assets और current liability दोनों equal हो जाएंगे, same हो जाएंगे, so this would mean they are going to cancel out and your ratio is going to be 1. So answer should be option number C. Option C is the right answer and all of you are right for this question. Check. So with this, let's come to the next question. Question number 18. बिल्कुल 1:1 हो जाएगी. An asset shall be classified as current when एसेट को करंट कब बुलाएंगे? जब उस एसेट को छूकर करंट लगेगा क्या तब बुलाएंगे? So this is the question. I'm seeing the answers coming in as option number C from Nadeem. I'm still looking for the right answer, and the right answer has been given by Vinayak, Anuradha, Nikhil, Mehek. So some right answers are definitely here. So if we talk about in very narrow terms, we only see if the asset can be realized within 12 months, we call it current assets. Okay, we all know this thing. We all know this thing. But now I want you guys to go a step ahead. If I take a look at my schedule 3, it defines current assets. Schedule 3 Companies Act का जो कि balance sheet का format आपको बताता है, it also defines what are current assets. It says a current asset is one which satisfies any of the following criteria. It is expected to be realized in or intended for sale or consumption in the company's normal operating cycle. तो कंपनी के जो नॉर्मल ऑपरेशन चल रहे हैं, कंपनीज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग गुड्स, कंपनीज सेलिंग देम, कंपनीज रियलाइजिंग द मनी. So if it is to be realized in this operating circle, then it is a current asset. It is held primarily for the purpose of being traded. आपने वो एसेट रखा हुआ है आगे ट्रेड करने के लिए, बेचने के लिए. It is your current asset. It is to be realized within 12 months. Again, current asset. And if it is your cash or cash equivalent, then again it should definitely be your current asset. Cash तो आपका current asset ही होता है ना. So that's why the answer has to be option number E. Answer has to be option number E. सभी आंसर्स को, सभी क्वेश्चंस को, सभी ऑप्शंस को ठीक से पढ़ा नहीं है और आंसर दे दिया फटाफट से. Normal operating cycle is not always 12 months. Yeah, it can be more than it. So if for a company normal operating cycle, let's suppose it is 15 months, then if an asset is to be realized in this 15 months, for that company it is going to be a current asset. So yeah, you cannot be subjective about it. अगर किसी कंपनी को बहुत टाइम लग जाता है, so let's suppose कि आपका जो इन्वेंट्री है आपको 1 साल तक अपने पास रखना पड़ता है और सेकेंड ईयर में इट इज कन्वर्टेड इनटू फिनिश्ड गुड. क्या आप उस इन्वेंट्री को, आप मुझे बताइए, मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं निधीश, क्या आप उस इन्वेंट्री को फिक्स एसेट बना देंगे? आपका वर्किंग प्रोसेस, आपका रॉ मटेरियल, क्या आप उसे फिक्स एसेट में डाल देंगे क्या? दैट इज नॉट अ फिक्स एसेट. योर इन्वेंट्री यू हैव केप्ट फॉर द पर्पस ऑफ सेलिंग, वो आपका करंट एसेट ही रहेगा. तो ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा नहीं है. वैभव अग्रवाल, आपके साथ कुछ क्वेश्चंस डिस्कस कर ही लिए हैं, तो यहाँ पे कुछ इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स ऑलरेडी कवर हो गए हैं, बट क्विकली ग्लांस थ्रू कर सकते हो आप. हाँ निधीश आप बोल रहे हैं गॉट इट. हाँ नितीश कह रहे हैं अब समझ आ गया. चलिए बहुत बढ़िया, आई होप सभी को समझ में आ गया. चलो जी, अब वैभव जी देखिए इस सवाल को और समझिए शेड्यूल 3 क्या कहता है. एज पर शेड्यूल 3 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट, व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग वुड नॉट बी शोन अंडर अदर करंट लायबिलिटीज व्हाइल प्रिपेयरिंग योर बैलेंस शीट. सो इफ यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग योर बैलेंस शीट, you are going to show all of these under other current liabilities except. interest accrued but not due on borrowings, interest accrued and due on borrowings, income received in advance, unpaid dividend and loan repayable on demand. अरे बाप रे, कंफ्यूजन चालू है. I'm still looking for the right answer. I'm still looking for the right answer. Guys, the right answer is option number E, loans repayable on demand. So this is what your schedule 3 has to say. Schedule 3 के अंदर से मैंने आपके लिए स्निप्स लिए हैं. So quickly take a look at these. So other current liabilities में क्या आता है? Your current maturities of the lease obligations, your interest which is accrued but not due, interest which is accrued and due. तो अगर आपने कोई लोन लिया है उसके ऊपर कोई आपका इंटरेस्ट है, अगर पेमेंट ड्यू हो गई है, अगर अभी ड्यू नहीं भी हुई है, then this interest is going to be shown here. Any income which you have got in advance, this is your liability. Any dividend which still remains unpaid, it is your other current liability. So all of these they are your other current liabilities. और शॉर्ट टर्म बोरोइंग के अंदर हमारे पास आता है जी हमारे लोन रिपेबल ऑन डिमांड. हाँ वंशिका बाला अब दे रहे आंसर ऑप्शन नंबर ई का. बताइए गड़बड़ कर दी ना. अनपेड डिविडेंड है, प्रपोज्ड डिविडेंड नहीं है. अरे पता है क्या कि हमारी प्रोग्रामिंग ऐसी हो गई अभी बीन प्रोग्राम लाइक दिस कि यार ये क्वेश्चन आया तो इसका आंसर यही होगा. डू रीड द क्वेश्चन वेरी केयरफुली. देयर कैन बी अ स्मॉल ट्विस्ट इन द क्वेश्चन. प्लीज गाइस डू रीड द क्वेश्चन वेरी वेरी केयरफुली. हाँ तो मैं कौन सा कह रहा हूं विनायक ये करंट लायबिलिटी नहीं है, ये करंट लायबिलिटी ही है. बट शेड्यूल 3 के अकॉर्डिंग देखिए आप, शेड्यूल 3 के अकॉर्डिंग मैं आपसे पूछ रहा हूं, मैं आपसे कोई और चीज नहीं पूछ रहा. आई एम आस्किंग शेड्यूल 3 ऑफ द कंपनीज एक्ट. आप किसे नहीं दिखाएंगे. सिमिलर क्वेश्चन वाज ऑलरेडी आस्क्ड इन द फेज 1. फेज 1 में ऐसे क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाई आई हैव फॉर्मुलेटेड दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन. Which of the following is not an intangible asset? Intangible asset वो जिसे आप छू नहीं सकते. I'm seeing lots of answers coming in as option number E. Nikhil, Vivek, Nadeem, all of you are saying, sir, all of these they are intangible assets. You all are right for this question. So आप देखिए intangible assets की classification as per schedule 3. Goodwill, brand, trademark, computer software, any titles that you have for any magazine or any like publications, you have any titles. Mining rights, copyrights, recipe, formula, model, license and franchisee. All of these they are your intangible assets. So yes, the answer is definitely going to be option number E. Answer is definitely going to be option number E. केशव आप EduTap पे रीच कर सकते हो. They will connect you to me. चलिए, so let's come to the next question. Cash flow statement when prepared. Is it okay now? Is it okay now? Or is it still stuck? Okay, so now it's okay. Okay, so with this, let's come to the next question. Okay. So there might be a small technical glitch. Let's come to the next question. Which of the following need to be added to the operating profit before working capital changes to arrive at cash flow from operating activities? Okay. So cash flow statement को हम डिस्कस आपके साथ कर रहे हैं and we have already seen कि you will start with the figure of net profit. आप net profit से start करेंगे and you will make certain adjustments. तो कौन से एडजस्टमेंट्स आप करने वाले हैं? केशव इज सेइंग आंसर शुड बी डी. सोनिया, अनमित्रा, वंशिका, ऑल ऑफ यू आर सेइंग सर आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर डी. वी आर बीइंग आस्क्ड कि व्हिच इज टू बी एडेड, किसको ऐड करने वाले हैं. सो गाइस दिस इज द फॉर्मेट ऑफ द कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट. तो कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट के अंदर इफ वी आर फॉलोइंग दिस इनडायरेक्ट मेथड, इफ वी आर फॉलोइंग दिस इनडायरेक्ट मेथड, देन वी आर गोइंग टू स्टार्ट विद द फिगर ऑफ नेट प्रॉफिट. नेट प्रॉफिट की फिगर जो है, because it is not your cash, we are going to arrive at the figure of your cash from operating activities. How we are going to do it? First of all, exclude the non-cash and non-operating activities, then you are going to left with the figure of your operating profit. Okay, but still this operating profit में क्या आ रहा होगा? There would be some sales आपकी यहाँ पे होंगी for which the amount would not have been realized by you, and there may be some payments which have been made by you, but these payments they were related to the last year. Okay, so these kinds of adjustments they have to be done. करंट एसेट्स और करंट लायबिलिटीज के लिए एडजस्टमेंट हमें करना पड़ेगा. क्यों करना पड़ेगा? क्योंकि आपकी जो सेल और परचेज की फिगर आ रही है, इट इज ऑन ड्यू बेसिस, इट इज नॉट ऑन कैश बेसिस. कैश बेसिस पे नहीं है, तो ड्यू से कैश पे लाने के लिए हमें करंट एसेट्स और करंट लायबिलिटीज को एडजस्ट करना पड़ेगा. So now let's understand the logic. If your current liabilities are increasing, current liability बढ़ रही है, it means we have not paid cash. हमारी liability बढ़ रही है, हमने cash नहीं pay किया, it means we have saved the cash. This is going to increase our cash. So increase in current liabilities, you are going to add it. You are going to add it. Okay. And similarly, if your current assets they are decreasing, it means आपने अपने current assets को cash में convert कर लिया. आपके कुछ डेटर्स थे, आपने उनसे पैसे रियलाइज कर ली, यू रियलाइज्ड मनी फ्रॉम देम. सो दैट्स व्हाई डिक्रीज इन करंट एसेट्स इट इज अगेन गोइंग टू बी एडेड. डिक्रीज इन करंट एसेट्स को भी आप ऐड करेंगे. ओके, एंड वाइस वर्सा, आपके बाकी दोनों चीजें यहाँ पे माइनस हो जाएंगे, दे वुड बी रिड्यूस्ड. सो दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू लर्न द लॉजिक बिहाइंड इट, एंड यू हैव टू रिमेंबर कि किसको ऐड करना है और किसको लेस करना है. सो दैट्स व्हाई द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी. दैट्स व्हाई द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर डी. केशव आपको पढ़ा तो रहे मैनेजमेंट इकोनॉमिक्स, इतनी फैकल्टीज हैं जो कि आपको पढ़ा रहे हैं, सब मेरे से ही पढ़ोगे क्या? चलिए लेट्स कम टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. हाँ, वैभव कह रहे सर क्वेश्चन इज अबाउट वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंजेस नॉट आफ्टर इट. क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग कि वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंजेस वाला जो प्रॉफिट है बिफोर वर्किंग कैपिटल चेंजेस, उसमें क्या आप ऐड करेंगे? तो दिस इज द क्वेश्चन वैभव, रीड इट वेरी केयरफुली. Keshav and Gauri are saying option D. Anuradha is saying also option number D. Guys, I am going to give you lots of twists today. बहुत से कमेंट्स आते थे मेरी वीडियोस पे कि बहुत इजी क्वेश्चन कराते हो. So I have some twists here. Vinay is saying option number A, and Vinay is absolutely right. Answer is option number A. It is not D. आपको लग रहा होगा आंसर शुड बी ऑप्शन नंबर डी, बट गाइस नॉर्मली अगर हम टैक्स की बात करते हैं तो इट इज योर टैक्स ऑन प्रॉफिट. अगर आपका प्रॉफिट पे कोई टैक्स है, देन इट इज पार्ट ऑफ योर ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी. बट हियर वी आर बीइंग गिवन कि टैक्स ऑन ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, डिविडेंड टैक्स, यानी कि इफ यू आर पेइंग डिविडेंड टू द शेयर होल्डर्स, डिविडेंड पेमेंट इज व्हिच काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी? फटाफट से बताइए चैट बॉक्स में, डिविडेंड पेड इज व्हिच काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी? मैं आपसे बस इतना पूछ रहा हूं, आप मुझे बताइए डिविडेंड पेड इज व्हिच काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी? हाँ, आई नो विनय इज सुपर हैप्पी राइट नाउ. हाँ, बाला इज सेइंग फाइनेंशियल. Yes, it is a financing activity. It is a financing activity. So the law says if you are paying some dividends, then you have to pay tax also on those dividends. Company has to pay tax on those dividends. Now the law has changed slightly. Let's not talk about it. If the company is paying tax related to that dividend which is paid by the company, तो आपका dividend paid अगर financing activity है, तो आपके टैक्स को भी हम फाइनेंसिंग ही बोलेंगे ना, क्योंकि वो डिविडेंड से जुड़ा हुआ टैक्स है. इट इज रिलेटेड विद दैट डिविडेंड. अगर आप वो डिविडेंड पे ना करते तो ये टैक्स आपको ना देना पड़ता. अगर आप डिविडेंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूट ना करते तो आपको वो टैक्स ना देना पड़ता. बट बिकॉज ऑफ द डिविडेंड दिस टैक्स हैज टू बी पेड. So this is definitely going to be clubbed along with your dividend as a financing activity. These are minor points. These are minor details that I want you guys to know at this moment. Okay, so that is why it is a financing activity. अब मुझे बताइए सेल ऑफ फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, इफ यू आर सेलिंग द फिक्स्ड एसेट्स व्हिच काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी इज दिस, व्हिच काइंड ऑफ एक्टिविटी इज दिस? हाँ वैभव कह रहे हैं इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी है, वैभव इज सेइंग इट इज इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी, बिल्कुल ये आपकी इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी है। सो अगर आप कोई एसेट बेचते हैं इनकम टैक्स के अंदर, इफ यू आर सेलिंग एनी एसेट यू मेक कैपिटल गेन, ओके यू मेक कैपिटल गेन। अगर आप कोई कैपिटल एसेट को बेचते हैं, आप कोई फिक्स्ड एसेट को बेचते हैं, यू मेक कैपिटल गेन and you have to pay capital gain tax on it. So now because you are selling this asset, because of this sale you have to pay tax on it. The sale of asset investing activity है, तो उससे जुड़ा हुआ टैक्स भी तो इन्वेस्टिंग एक्टिविटी ही होना चाहिए। So this is what I want you guys to remember from now on. Previously you only knew कि सर टैक्स जो है ना ऑपरेटिंग एक्टिविटी का आउटफ्लो है, बट नहीं, अब हम पूछेंगे, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू आस्क whether this tax belongs to our operations, whether it is related to dividend paid, whether it is related to your capital gain, and accordingly we are going to classify it. So guys, answer is option number A. Yes, all of you are saying sir ये financing or investing है. It's really good to see these responses from you. चलिए, fund flow statement is going to answer which of these questions? No, interest paid is financing activity MK. इंटरेस्ट आप किस पे करेंगे? लोन पे करेंगे। लोन इज अ सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस, तो आप अपने सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस पे इंटरेस्ट पे कर रहे हैं, तो इट इज गोइंग टू बी फाइनेंसिंग एक्टिविटी ना। चलिए, आई एम गेटिंग द आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर सी एंड डी। अरे ये तो आसान क्वेश्चन था, इसमें क्यों गड़बड़ कर रहे हो? फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट के अंदर व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फंड? फटाफट से बताइए, व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ फंड इन फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट? Lots of answers coming in as option number D. Anshu, Nilesh, Anuradha, Anupama, Vivek, Vinay. हाँ बिल्कुल, योर फंड इज योर वर्किंग कैपिटल। तो हम वर्किंग कैपिटल के अंदर जो मूवमेंट आया, वी आर गोइंग टू एनालाइज दैट। कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट में वी आर ओनली कंसर्न्ड विद कैश, बट नाउ we are concerned with working capital, that is your current assets minus current liabilities. So we are seeing कि opening में working capital कितना था? Let's suppose it was 1 lakh and closing में the working capital it has declined. Let's suppose it has declined to 50,000. Okay, so now we are going to see whether the working capital has been effectively utilized or not. तो वर्किंग कैपिटल के अंदर जो डिक्लाइन हुआ, इट इज बिकॉज ऑफ विच ऑफ द रीजंस? वी आर गोइंग टू एनालाइज दैट. वी आर गोइंग टू नो whether the funds, whether the working capital, here funds means working capital, has been managed properly or not. And again, there may be this situation ki opening working capital it was 1 lakh, closing working capital is 50,000, but the profits made by the company, they are 10 lakh. So there comes a question, ye 10 lakh ka profit gaya kahan? Where has this profit gone? So for this also we would have to analyze the flow of funds. So all of these questions, they are going to be answered by the fund flow statement. So that's why the answer is going to be option number D. हाँ बिल्कुल अंशु, मैं आप तो कह ही रहा हूँ कि ऑप्शन बी भी तो करेक्ट है, मैं तो कह ही रहा हूँ बी भी करेक्ट है, सी भी करेक्ट है। आप ही नैरो अप्रोच लेकर चल रहे हो कि सर केवल सी करेक्ट है। वही प्रोग्रामिंग हो रखी है ना माइंड की, कि फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट जहां पे दिखा वर्किंग कैपिटल पे टिक लगा दो, बस क्वेश्चन को आगे पढ़ा ही नहीं, बस वर्किंग कैपिटल को टिक लगा दिया। सो प्री कंसीव्ड नोशंस एक बैरियर है कम्युनिकेशन का। मैनेजमेंट पढ़ा दिया आपको केशव, आप कह रहे थे ना मैनेजमेंट नहीं पढ़ाते थे, तो मैनेजमेंट पढ़ा दिया आपको कम्युनिकेशन के अंदर। दिस इज अ बैरियर, योर प्री कंसीव्ड नोशन, इट इज अ साइकोलॉजिकल बैरियर जो कि आपके अंदर आना शुरू हो गया है, एंड आई वांट दिस बैरियर टू बी गॉन. I want this barrier to be gone. With this, let's come to the next question. Question number 25. In the context of fund flow statement, which of the following would involve flow of funds? Okay, Anshu, that's good. That's good. I know many people are going to say कि सर इतने तो क्वेश्चन आएंगे ही नहीं. There are always people saying जब आसान करवा दो सर, इतने आसान करवा दिए, आसान कहाँ आते हैं, तो थोड़े से लेवल बढ़ा दो सर, ऐसे मुश्किल कहाँ आते हैं. So there are going to be those people, always going to be those people. चलिए, I'm getting the answer as C from Sanjana, Rishabh, Vinay, Anshu, Vanshika, Nisha. All of you are saying answer should be option number C. सो फंड फ्लो स्टेटमेंट के अंदर आपने मुझे ऑलरेडी बताया कि सर वर्किंग कैपिटल का चेंज देखते हैं. वर्किंग कैपिटल इज योर करंट एसेट्स एंड योर करंट लायबिलिटी. ओके, तो अगर आपके करंट एसेट्स और करंट लायबिलिटी, अगर आपके केवल करंट अकाउंट्स ही इन्वॉल्व हैं, लेट्स सपोज मेरा करंट एसेट्स है 1 लाख का और करंट लायबिलिटी है 50,000 का, माय वर्किंग कैपिटल इज 50,000. ओके, लेट्स सपोज मैंने क्रेडिटर्स को कैश पे कर दिया, 10,000 के क्रेडिटर्स, 10,000 के मेरे जो क्रेडिटर्स थे उनको कैश पे कर दिया, तो दिस वुड मीन माय करंट एसेट्स आर गोइंग टू रिड्यूस बाय 10,000, अगेन माय करंट लायबिलिटी अगेन गोइंग टू रिड्यूस बाय 10,000. so my working capital remains intact, so there is no fund flow here, no fund flow. अगर only non current accounts involved हैं, अगर मैं कहता हूं I have converted my debentures into preference shares, तो कोई करंट एसेट्स कोई करंट लायबिलिटीज पे नो चेंज, कोई चेंज ही नहीं आया, अगेन वर्किंग कैपिटल इंटैक्ट. सो only for those transactions in which one current account is there and one non-current account is there, then only the working capital is going to be affected, then only there is going to be a flow of funds, and this is what is analyzed by the fund flow statement. This is what is analyzed by the fund flow statement. So that's why the correct answer is option number C. And with this we conclude our today's discussion. If this discussion has been fruitful for you guys, do like this video, do give me thumbs up in the comment section, in the chat box. अगर आपको आज कुछ नया सीखने को मिला, you were able to learn something, you were able to introspect maybe. कौन सा क्वेश्चन था केशव? मोस्ट वेलकम नीलेश, निधीश, तनुजा, निखिल, अंशु, अनुराधा. शेयर फॉर फीचर का क्वेश्चन तो आई थिंक बहुत शुरू में था. मोस्ट वेलकम विनय, टेकन गेम्स, बालाजी, सोनिया. हाँ जी, पीडीएफ मिलेगी, आई थिंक मिलनी चाहिए, क्यों नहीं मिलेगी. ये वाला क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो क्या केशव? हाँ एमके, अभी आपके साथ एक मैराथन सेशन भी करेंगे. हाँ, इन डेज को भी कवर अप कर लेंगे, रेशियो एनालिसिस के और भी क्वेश्चंस कर लेंगे, डोंट वरी. Bala, you should mainly focus on those Ind AS which are specifically related to the accounting standards which are given in your syllabus. बाकी Ind AS को याद करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल है. बट देखो, एग्जामिनेशन से पहले 1-2 दिन रट्टे लगा के जाने पड़ेंगे बहुत सी चीजों के. You would have to learn lots of things the day before your examination, and this is what you have to do for remembering the Ind AS. मैं कह रहे हैं आज मजा आ गया, मुझे भी बहुत मजा आया आपके साथ सवाल डिस्कस करके. चलिए, तो यहाँ पे क्वेश्चन है कि हमारे पास 12,000 शेयर्स थे, 100 रुपीज ईच का शेयर है, फोरफिट कर लिए, 40 रुपीज पर शेयर पे नहीं हुआ, और फर्स्ट एंड फाइनल कॉल ₹30 की तो अभी की ही नहीं थी. यानी कि दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर, 30, 40 एंड 30. 30 रुपीज हैज नॉट बीन कॉल्ड येट, ये तो अभी कॉल ही नहीं किए, इट इज नॉट येट ड्यू. 40 rupees have been called but not paid, only 30 rupees have been paid by this particular person. ठीक है जी. तो आपने शेयर कैपिटल को कितने से आपने क्रेडिट किया होगा? यू वुड हैव मेड शेयर कैपिटल क्रेडिट बाय ₹70. ओके, एंड यू हैव ओनली रिसीव्ड 30 फॉर इट. जो रिसीव कर लिया यू वुड फोरफिट इट, यू वुड ट्रांसफर इट टू फोरफीचर अकाउंट. जो नहीं रिसीव किया दैट वुड बी पार्ट ऑफ योर कॉल इन एरियर, दैट वुड बी योर पेंडिंग कॉल, and now you have to reverse that call in arrear. Now it is no longer due. अभी आपका ड्यू नहीं है, अब तो आपने शेयर ही जब्त कर लिए, आपने शेयर ही फोरफिट कर लिए. दिस इज नो लॉन्गर ड्यू. तो अब आप इस एसेट को खत्म करेंगे, एसेट को खत्म करने के लिए यू विल क्रेडिट इट. सो सिंपली आपको क्या करना है, शेयर कैपिटल को डेबिट करना है 70 से, एंड क्रेडिट करना है किसको? क्रेडिट करना है शेयर फोरफीचर को, क्रेडिट करना है 30 से, एंड आपके कॉल इन एरियर को भी आपने क्रेडिट करना है कितने से? 40 से. तो नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स 12,000 थे, आप इनको 12,000 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दीजिए तो आपका आंसर आ जाएगा. तो इजी क्वेश्चन ही था केशव, आपने गड़बड़ नहीं करनी थी इसमें. चलो, सो विद दिस वी एंड आवर टुडेज डिस्कशन. I wish you all the best. Keep working hard. Keep preparing for the examination. We will meet again in most probably your marathon sessions. Till then, bye. Take care. All the best.